أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق أولم يكف بربك أنه على كل شيء شهيد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear sisters, Salman Rohum Ali from Canada asked me a question. This question is like this. The questions which arise here is, she asked this question: how can all people be expected to believe in the one true God, given their varying backgrounds, societies, and cultures? This is the questions of our sisters from Canada. So, for people to be held responsible for worshipping the one true God, they all need to have access to knowledge of Him. The final revelation teaches that all human beings have the recognition of the one true God imprinted on their souls as a part of their very nature with which they are created. In the 7th chapter of the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Araf, verses 172 to 173, I think, God explained that when He created Adam, He caused all the Adam's descendants to come into existence, and He took a pledge from them, saying, "Am I not your Lord?" To which they all reply, "Yes, we testify to it." And Allah then explained why He had all of mankind bear witness that He is their Creator and the only true God, worthy of worship. He said in the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Araf, chapter 7, verses 172 or 173, like this: that was in case you, mankind, should say on the day of resurrection, verily we were unaware of all this. That is to say, we cannot claim on that day that we had no idea that Allah Ta'ala was our God, and that no one told us that we were only supposed to worship Allah alone. Allah went on to further explain that in verses 173, always chapter 7, Allah says, "It was also in case you should say, certainly it was our ancestors who made partners with Allah, and we are only their descendant. Will you then destroy us for what those liars did?" Thus, every children is born with a natural belief in God and an inborn inclination to worship Him alone. This inborn belief and inclination is called in Arabic the fitra. So the Holy Prophet of Islam, the Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace blessing upon him, reported that Allah said, I created my servant in the right religion, but devils made them go astray. The Holy Prophet ﷺ also said, each child is born in a state of fitra. Then his parent makes him a Jew, Christian, or Zoroastrian. If the child were left alone, he would worship God in his own way. But all children are affected by their environment. So just as a child submits to the physical law which Allah has imposed on nature, in the same way his soul also submits naturally to the fact that Allah is his Lord and Creator. But if his parent tried to make him follow a different path, the child is not strong enough in the younger stages of his life to resist or oppose the will of his parent. In such cases, the religion which the child follows is one of custom and upbringing, and God does not hold him to account or punish him for his religion up to a certain stage of his or her life. There is many signs of God. Though our people lives from childhood until the time they die, signs of the one and only true God are shown to them in all regions of the earth, and in their own soul, until it becomes clear that there is only one true God. It is Allah. God says in the Holy Quran, in chapter 41, verses 53 or 54, like this, we will show them our signs in the furthest region of the earth and in their own souls, until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. So the following is an example of God revealing by a sign to one man the error of his idol worship. In the southeastern region of the Amazon jungle, in Brazil, South Africa, a primitive tribe erected a new hut to house their main idol is Quacha, representing the supreme God of all creation. The following day, a young man entered the hut to pay homage to the god, and while he was in prostration to what he had been taught was his creator and sustainer, the mangy old free-ridden dog slunk into the hut. The young man looked up in time to see the dog lift its hind leg, and pass urine on the idol. So outraged, the youth chased the dog out of the temple. But when his rage died down, he realized that the idol could not be the Lord of the universe. God must be elsewhere. He concluded, has strayed, as it may seem, the dog urinating on the idol was a sign from God for that young man. This sign contains a divine message that what he was worshipping was false. It liberated him from slavishly following his traditionally learned worship of a false god. As a result, this man was given a choice either to seek the true God or to continue in the error of his way. Allah mentions Prophet Abraham's quest for God as an example of how those who follow his sign will be rightly guided. Rightly guided. That is in the Holy Quran. So Allah said in chapter 6 in Surah Al-An'am, Allah says, so also did we show Abraham the power and the laws of the heaven and the earth that he might, that is with understanding, have certitude. When the night covered him over, he saw a star. He said, this is my Lord. But when it set, he said, I love not those that set. When he saw the moon rising in splendor, he said, this is my Lord. But when the moon set, he said, unless my Lord guide me, I shall surely be among those who go astray. When he saw the sun rising in splendor, he said, this is my Lord. This is the greatest of all. But when the sun set, he said, O my people, I am indeed free from your guilt. I am indeed free from your guilt of giving partners to Allah. For me, I have set my face firmly and truly towards Him who created the heaven and the earth, and never shall I give partners to Allah. Chapter 6, verses 75 to 79. That is, said that, Inni wajhadtu wajhaya allazi fatara as-samawati wal ard hanifan wa ma ana al-mushrikeen. So, as was mentioned earlier, prophets have been sent to every nation and tribe to support man's natural belief in God and man's inborn inclination to worship Him, as well as to reinforce the divine truth in the daily signs revealed by God. Although much of these prophet teachings became distorted, portion revealing their God-inspired messages have remained untainted and have served to guide mankind in the choice between right and wrong. The influence of God-inspired messages down through the ages can be seen in the Ten Commandments of Judaism, Torah, which were later adopted into Christianity's teaching as well, when as in the existence of law against murder, stealing, and adultery in most societies throughout the ancient and modern world. As a result of God's signs to mankind through the ages combined with His revelation through His prophets, all mankind has been given a chance to recognize the one and only true God. Consequently, every soul will be held accountable for its belief in God and its acceptance of the true religion of God, namely Islam, the Sahih Islam, which means total submission to the will of Allah. Jazakallah, Hasan al Jaza. May Allah bless you and make you understand, and so you can have these good, I think that you have got the good replies. And if any time you have any question, don't worry, you can forward your question or you can phone to me. Jazakallah.